So the other day, I saw this article and I found it to be rather disconcerting because it's talking about PS5 getting spoiler blocking technology to dodge Last of Us Part 2 style leaks. Now in that, I feel like we surrender more and more freedoms to these companies. They decide exactly what we can watch and what we can't. And that kind of stuff, I don't know. It just doesn't sit with me. So we're going to talk about this article today, and we're going to talk about more with it. And I hope you buckle up because it'll be a good conversation, and I hope you'll add to it too. So hey there, so today we return to that wonderful world of, man, I can't believe this is happening, starring once again, Sony. Before I begin though, let me say this. May the 15th, 2020, we're launching our comic book, Another Case of the Littlest Umbrella. This is the sign-up sheet. If you sign up for it and you end up purchasing something, you'll get an exclusive card you can't get otherwise. I don't accept any type of advertisers. I've turned away all kinds of stuff like that. This is what I'm passionate about. This helps the channel do what it does. So check that out. And even if you don't, hey, thank you for listening. So like I was saying at the beginning, items like this are fascinating to me because you have to give up something in order to get this thing. You have to give up more and more information. You have to let something pry more and more into your life. And at the end of the day, they can misuse this and decide, well, when you're using your PS5, you can watch this or you can't watch this. I mean, you see what kind of problems that could abound from it. Now, what's equally fascinating about this to me is how this component, it will be compared to other components. So it just seems like new advancements in hardware. PS5 looks set to be full of highly advanced hardware. According to technology-heavy presentation by lead system architect Mark Curry, it's packing a huge solid-state drive, which will reportedly eliminate loading times, an output of 10.2 teraflops of graphic power, and of course, we got to get that new controller with never-before-seen feedback triggers. All of these features are there to enhance your enjoyment of a game you're playing. So isn't it a real bummer when you're halfway through an engrossing story-driven game only to find someone has leaked the plot all over the internet? So I really want you to think about what they just said versus the title of this. And the other two things, they are not mutually compatible. Isn't it a real bummer when you're halfway through an engrossing story-driven game only to find someone has leaked the plot all over the internet? So the thing that they just described, those aren't Last of Us Part 2 style leaks, are they? I mean, when you think about The Last of Us Part 2 and the leaks that came up about that, somebody had access to where the game was. Nothing had come out yet at all. They leaked it, and people, they were not thrilled by what they saw. I think that also takes away the word engrossing when you're talking about playing through, because they said that you and I, we would be sitting down, we're playing an engrossing game, and that the plot was quote-unquote leaked all over the internet. Again, that's not the same. You're talking about Let's Plays. You're talking about people on Twitter versus the PS5 deciding to shut down conversation about The Last of Us Part 2 because, hey, that might actually make you not want to buy the game. The article, however, it sees no distinction in that. It actually brings up saying, most recently, we've seen it happen with The Last of Us Part 2. Saying that description, that's what happened. The highly anticipated follow-up to 2013's blockbuster hit. However, you can rest assured that in 8 generations of consoles, Sony is taking steps to ensure your gaming experience remains unspoiled. So, my gaming experience, it's going to be spoiled by telling me, hey, this stuff here, it's going to be in the game. You probably don't want to buy it. And that's what a lot of people decided, isn't it? So is it really about me, or is it about Sony and the people that they work with? So Sony has recently been granted a patent by the USPTO for a spoiler blocking technology that could be integrated into the PS5. The general gist of the new patent is as described, a service to block content from appearing about a game you've yet to complete. Now, if you're wanting to know a little bit more about it without all of their spin there, and we'll go back to the article in just a second, pause on this, look up the United States patent application. They have the numbers on it. You can find this relatively easy. I'm going to read this abstract to you too, and I want you to think about how this stuff would be accomplished, because it's not just the end goal that they're talking about, but how you get there and what exactly they utilize and what exactly they take while they're trying to get you there. So computer implemented service and methods for cross-platform spoiler blocking are provided herein. An example method includes ascertaining by a data platform data potentially available to a user of a service having a media object. So you got to figure out what data is available to somebody before anything, right? Identifying by the data platform at least one object revealed by the media object, then at least one object being associated with an application, receiving by the data platform metadata associated with the at least one object, the metadata indicative of whether the at least one object should be hidden from the user, determining by the data platform based on the metadata the at least one object is a potential spoiler, and blocking by the data platform the user from interacting with the media object through the service. So you're going to have this. It, of course, has to sit down. It has to decide what's out there, whether or not they consider that a spoiler. Should they take it away from you? You see the problem in here, right? It's not so cut and dry as, ooh, that's a spoiler to a game. Let me get that out of the way. The article, however, of course, it has no problem with that because, like any type of spin, you're again going to be told that this stuff, it's not going to be misused. It's going to be something that's going to improve your life. Here, they say, connecting to that statement, the general gist of the new patent is as described, a service to block content from appearing about a game you've yet to complete. It's more sophisticated than that. The patent document suggests that the service could prevent content from being shown that specifically relates to parts of the game you haven't encountered yet, while leaving information regarding parts of the game you've completed free for you to browse. So it's going to keep up with that level of minutia. What happened to just letting me play a freaking game, deciding what I want to see, and going from there? Again, like what if I want to watch a Let's Play? Can I not watch it on my PS5 because I'm playing a specific type of game? How far, again, down that rabbit hole does something like this go? And how far do we allow it to go before we say, yeah, not really interested in you doing something like this? What's terrible about this, too, is that they actually admit that they have no idea what the exact nature of this content might be. They're not sure about that yet, but it tells us a lot about Sony's vision for the PS5. Yes, indeed it does. It tells you that they think that they should be in control of your gaming experience, your information, and again, where you plop down your wallet. Because if they can control this type of leak, if they can keep people from seeing it, then it doesn't matter how terrible a game is. At the end of the day, you'll still spend on it. They'll still reap the financial whirlwind. So, they say here, the patent reads the following. The technology disclosed herein can allow players to engage with friends and the community around narrative games with the confidence that they will not accidentally see spoilers, which can include an activity, a character, an item, an outcome of activity, an action, an effect, a location, and an attribute of a character or item. Judging by what we've seen here, the PS5 will allow gamers to interact in a more sophisticated fashion, engaging with friends and gaming socially. Most gaming forums are hosted online and are accessed away from the console on a phone or a laptop. With PS5's DualSense Create button and inbuilt microphone, Sony seems to be placing a huge emphasis on social gaming. It seems as though Sony understands the scope of discussion around games and is looking to harness that to keep players on the console for longer. Exactly. They want to make sure that you stay on the console and you buy their games, because that's the way that this stuff works. And you're not buying a TV and you're not buying a gaming platform at the end of the day. Basically, what they're telling you is that you're buying equipment from them. You're buying Sony technology, and that Sony technology, it has the right to go out and to limit what exactly you see. See here, it's not the description of use that should bother you, but rather the intent or the possibility of misuse. How far down the rabbit hole can this go? And can we do anything about it? I think we can easily by saying, hey, this isn't what we want. Faster gaming? Yeah. No lag? Sure. Cooler controllers? All right. But this kind of stuff? No. Don't need it. Don't need it at all. But anyway, you tell me what you think about this stuff. And thanks as always for tuning in. So like I said at the beginning of this, we have a comic book launching May 15th, 2020. And I hope you'll be there, and I hope you'll be there to support. We'll have a lot of fun with that. And this is our second foray into comics. And if you want to sign up, again, if you decide to back, this is your only way to get an exclusive trading card with that for free. Backing gets you the card for free. But with this, we have a story about that umbrella guy and little umbrella girl facing off against an ancient threat or a Lovecraftian type of evil in an all-new adventure. This is an all-ages type of thing, and basically it's conduit so my 6-year-old daughter can enjoy comics. That's why I got into this. That's who little umbrella girl is, and we'll have much more to talk about with it. But anyway, thank you for showing up. I appreciate you. Check that out if you want. If not, hey, you're here. I appreciate you anyhow, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.